focus going on a bit. You sort that out. There you go. Just a bit of you know, paracord, and I've just attached that to some British style paracord, which is a little bit different to the American style paracord. British paracord's a bit thinner, and a bit of the American paracord's got a bit of a thinner weave on it. But I mean, essentially the same 7 internal strands. You know, pretty basic stuff. Right, now the knife itself is a high carbon steel blade, which means you do have to look after it. You do have to keep it oiled because it will rust. It's not stainless steel, and it's got a Scandi grind, which basically means that it's a flat grind all the way along the length of the blade, which makes it easier for sharpening in the bush. Now you can see this is quite beaten up because I've used it quite a lot, and I'm actually, when you buy this knife new, I don't know if you can see there, but it has these little serration, where they've ground it in the factory, and what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to get rid of that grinding so that it has a perfectly flat edge. You can maybe see it a little bit better there. There's these lines that go along it. There it is there. Mora of Sweden, carbon steel. Now this is, you know, these are really cheap, these knives. You know, they're what? I paid, I think, £20, or what, $30, something like that for one of these knives. With the focus, it's annoying. I'll put it down here so you can see it better. You know, really good knife. You know, it doesn't matter if you go out there and you bash it around a bit. It's a good thing for training with, a good thing for practicing your skills with. It's easy to keep sharp because of the, I mean, I need to work on the tip there a little bit. It's a bit rounded off and stuff, but that's work in progress. But a good knife to start with. You know, it doesn't matter if you bash it around a bit. There's a little hole there in the bottom for drainage if you get water in the sheath. It's just a plastic sheath. But you know, a good neck knife, a good, you know, everyday, not an everyday carry knife, but a good for bushcrafting, wood skills, you know, carving. I mean, you can bat on wood to a certain extent with it. I mean, you're not going to be cutting down huge trees with it, but you know, for fire starting, tinder making, things like that, it's a good piece of kit. Right, so we'll put that to one side, and then we come to the last knife, which is your standard pocket knife. This is a CRKT M16 knife. I don't ever really take this out with me because, you know, in England obviously it's illegal to have these type of knives in public, so that's just something I bought because it looked cool and I wanted to have a pocket knife, you know, just to add to my inventory for if I ever do go abroad or whatever and I just need a small knife to take with me, then that's probably what I would take with me. It's just a Oz 8 steel again. It's got a quick release here, which is quite an interesting concept. It's a bit fiddly to get your head around the first few times, but you have to hold it like this. Well, this is how I hold it. Middle finger there, thumb here, index finger on the release, and then, so it's kind of a quick draw style, and then the release mechanism is in there. If you can see, that's the bit of metal there that keeps the catch in place. So that's how it goes. Tanto style blade, drop point Tanto, I believe is the name, with half serration there. Basically, it just looks cool. It's not really anything to do with functionality or anything like that. This is a belt buckle or belt clip, pocket clip, whatever. It's got perforated holes to keep the weight down. I don't know if the handle, I don't think the handle's metal. I think it's a type of ceramic or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but you can look it up. It's CRKT, which is Columbia River Knife and Tools, and it's the M16 mil version, high risk environment. I don't know, I don't really like that. I'd happily get rid of that. I just like the colour, the sort of olive drab green with the black blade, but it's actually not a black blade, it's actually a grey colour. It does have a thumb, what looks like a thumb, but it's not actually, it doesn't actually function like a thumb. I mean, it kind of does, but it's not very effective. It's actually easier to flick like that. So, but anyway, a thing with the drop with the Tanto point is for EDC, like you guys in the States, I know you look at knives like this for your EDC purposes. This isn't really the type of knife you'd have for an EDC, because the Tanto blade, I mean, you could have a Tanto blade as an EDC if you wanted to, but actually you'll find that most cutting I've seen through people like Nut and Fancy. If you want to see good knife reviews, Nut and Fancy is a good one. There's lots of other guys, obviously. Let me try and think of some now. Beast 12. Is it Beast 12101? I think is his name. So correct me if I'm wrong, guys. And obviously, like, put comments up there, and I'll change it if I need to. But basically, what he says is that most EDC cutting, you know, opening boxes and stuff, is kind of this. So actually, what is better to have is a more curved blade, because what you'll find is you wear this point out, this squared edge here, you'll wear out, and it's very difficult to actually sharpen that and get that point there. So as this channel that I'm doing is about outdoor survival and bushcraft and stuff, the knife I'm going to suggest, you know, don't bother with these things. They're good knives, they're really good quality, you know, they're quite expensive, but you know, it's form over function in most cases. I mean, they're good quality knives, but you know, put those to one side. You want to go and do some bushcrafting, you don't want to go and take your £100 knife or your £60 folder and go and get it all scratched up in the bush. You want a knife that you want to be able to practice your skills with and really do something useful with, that you can mess around with getting your sharpening skills done. Like here, obviously I need to work on that point a little bit. It's looking a bit all over the shop actually, but that's just from field sharpening. But you know, if you want something you can real practice your skills with, you're not going to mind, you know, getting it a bit scratched up, you know, and something that's going to also, because it's a high carbon steel, it's good for your fire strikers, your fire steels, your ferrocerium rods, magnesium Q things, and flint strikers and things like that. So it's good for that. So I would recommend for a bushcrafting type purpose, you know, these are nice, but really Frostmore, a clipper, something like that, some sort of bushcraft knife like that is what you really want to be going for. And obviously, like what I've done here, I've modified it a bit with electrical tape, ranger bands, some pacing beads. But yeah, that would be my recommended bushcraft survival. It's very lightweight. I think it only weighs a couple of ounces. I think it's like 3 ounces or something, which is what in grams, I don't know, 50 grams, 60 grams, something like that. No, wait a minute, 28 grams in an ounce. So what's that? 90 grams something. 86 grams. Anyway, that's besides the point. What I'm saying is, this is what I would recommend. This is what I've used the most. This is what I take out the most. This is what I get the most benefits from having. And also, you know, Scandi grind, so it's easy to sharpen. High carbon steel, so you have to make sure you don't let it get rusty. You have to oil the blade. You know, WD-40 is what I normally use. You know, I don't need to go out there and get some crazy expensive gun oil or anything. Just WD-40, because WD-40 isn't. People get some confused sometimes. WD-40 isn't a lubricant. It's actually a. What does it say? It's actually anhydrous. It's actually to stop things from getting wet. This is all written in Dutch and German for some reason. Nothing on this bottle, even though I bought it in England, says English. That's interesting. Anyway, so yes, it's actually to repel water. It repels water off of things. That's what you're actually supposed to use WD-40 for. It's not really a lubricant. So people turn around and go, "Why would you put a lubricant on your knife?" It's not for that purpose. And then something else I've done with the actual length of the paracord, I measured it out so that when I am not using it, I can wrap it up around there, and it's just the right length to push that over, and that keeps it secure. It keeps it from coming open in, you know, say you're not carrying it on you, you've got it in your bag or whatever. You don't want the knife slipping out in the bag somehow and cutting your bag. So what I like to do is make sure everything's secured. So I wrap the paracord there around the end, and that keeps it nice and tight. It's not going to come out in any way, because you might find that with these sheaths, they do clip in alright, but you know, it could come out if something pushed against it, and you know, so there it is, guys. There's my first video. I hope you enjoyed it. You pick these knives up, like I said, about £25, which is about $35 or something, and it's what I'd really recommend going with. So thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more videos from GD Survival's channel.